rest is concerned, fear the termination.
Welcome back to another Adventures in Brittopia. Today we're going to be doing a critique on Melanie Martinez's album Portals. Before we begin, I want to thank our sponsors Elliot and Arrow for sponsoring this video. Without them, this would not have been possible. Alright, let's do it. The first song on Melanie Martinez's album Portals is called Death. It seems like she opened with this song because it portrays her new creation, coming back from the dead, which is actually a line in the song that's used many times. Back from the dead, back from the dead. Crybaby is now this nymph character. It's really interesting. On a personal side, I didn't know who Melanie Martinez was up until this year in 2024. And up until then, I always thought the dual wig colors were a Sia thing. I don't know. So it seems like that character Crybaby was a really big influence in Melanie's previous albums, and for whatever reason she wanted to end that and start something new. So we have this nymph creature, and in all the videos for this album, this nymph creature is featured. Now the first song starts out with the lyric like, "They're carving my name into the grave again." I'm not really sure why they would do that again. I don't know. But it starts out very whimsical, which is really interesting because on this whole album, the different genres are really present, and so you're gonna get a lot of songs that start out one way but end up another, and you're gonna get a lot of songs that really rely on the good guitar riffs, which is really interesting too, because I've noticed there's a lot of really good songs here in this album. And why are they so good is because they have some sort of good beat to them or something. And a lot of Melanie's stuff is all like soprano, so it's like you kind of hear a lot of variations of the same thing, because she always seems to sing in a higher range, and it's much more airy and vocally much more airy and whimsy. But again, we're back at the first song here, so there's still a lot to get to. A lot of these songs too are like highly mastered, and I couldn't understand the words until I looked them up and paired them with the music, and then I had no trouble at all. So if you're having trouble listening to the music, the lyrics really do help, and she's very lyrically heavy in this album. A lot of the former albums, she relied on certain parts of her song to repeat and sort of make a full song out of it, and you might see that here and there on this particular album, but most of it is like an impressive amount of writing, you know. Once the song hits its first chorus, it's a banger. Like, it really has some heaviness to it. I think my favorite line is "Dead!" and she screams it in the background over and over again. Dead! 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 I know. It's pretty terrible. Melanie, I'm not trying to rip you apart, really. Honestly, I'm fascinated by you. I've been having a lot of fun looking into your music, and I couldn't tell you the name of the song based on the intro of your tracks, because there's a lot of them. Anyway, back to Death on the album of Portals. This first song is also pretty drum heavy, that she wouldn't expect at the beginning, but trust me, when you get there, and it's there. Oh, and I'm a conspiracy theorist. She like mentions witchcraft and Satanism on this album. There's even a song called Evil. I didn't want to like it, but we'll get to it, and it's really catchy. I think the first song's lyrically invoking, but at times a little hypocritical. There are some times where she's like, I'm gone, but there are times where she's like, I'm back from the dead. It's not too hard to read into, considering that she's pretty much killed off Crybaby and replaced her with a nymph, which is kind of sad because Crybaby was its own vibe. I'm gonna move on to the next song now, Void, and Void's probably my favorite one off of this album. It was the first one I actually heard, even though it's the second song, and I didn't understand a word of it when I first heard it. But it was so catchy, I was like, oh, I gotta check this out. So I looked up the lyrics, and this one is interesting. The lyrics for this are very interesting, I think. I don't know if we should read into them too much, or what do we say to the line where she says she hates who she was before? I mean, that's heartbreaking. Hate's a strong word, and honestly, she was flying with colors before, and I don't see why it was so terrible to leave that in the canon, which she does, but you know, it's a lyric in this song, and it makes you wonder, like, is she telling the truth? Is she referring to what we think she might be referring to, which is like Crybaby, her career prior? I don't know, but we're gonna listen to Void now. Void starts off with a nice clean guitar, and then it has her voice, Melanie's voice, go in the void, in the void, in the void, and she does it all the way till it spirals into the song. This song seems to be about having to face her own reflection and a mental state that she's in. She calls it the void, and the song really describes what it's like to be in her void, and she just seems to map it out with such a sultry tone. It's a catchy song, but she's trying to escape the void, you know? This is also the song where she says that she hates who she was before, and it's just pretty interesting. It's very illustrious in lyricism, and at some point she says she's tangled in her own intestines. Now, Melanie Martinez, you know, in her style, she mixes a lot of childlike themes with a lot of adult themes. You're gonna hear a lot of songs that sound like they're for children, and then she drops the F-bomb, and you're just like, how did that fit in there? And she made it. She made it work, but kids are listening to it, so you gotta be careful with that stuff. It is kind of explicit at times. She mentions private parts and things you can do with them, and it's more adult than it seems, really. I do love the second verse on Void, where she starts talking about her fickle insecurities, and just how she says turn them into beauty is beautiful. It really is. And even just the alchemize the dark within me, she has this little drawn on extension to me in that part. It probably sounds really muddled when I say it now, but if you listen to the song, you'll know what I'm saying. Alright, so I'm gonna move on to Tunnel Vision. This one starts out with like a train whistle-y vibe to it. This song is more adult, I think. I mean, it opens up with how satanic it is that she can bend her body the way that she bends her body. But really, this song also is about being more than just a plaything, if you will. Melanie talks about being more than that. It's interesting how she writes this song out so that it's pointed at a person, but we don't exactly know who. Playing house to distract me, but you're no good at acting. These are lines from this song, and a lot of it about this song is going too fast. When you're in the mood, I guess. That's the tunnel vision right there. Is you're just too in the mood and you're going too fast. I don't think this song is for kids, but I know kids are gonna flock right to it. She literally says the P word, referring to a woman's privates in the song, so a fair warning about that too. I wonder if Melanie Martinez actually smells like honeysuckle. So I'm gonna move on to the next song, and it's called Fairy Soiree. This song starts out really quickly. It's got a nice little beat to it, but it's very heavy on the lyrics. So she spends a lot of time describing very earthly things, the flutter of wings of things. It's hard to describe exactly what she's trying to say. It seems like she's met somebody that she's interested in, but she's got a million other things on her mind, and she wants to keep going, I guess. Halfway through the song, it totally takes a turn, and it just becomes a slower ballad. Somewhere on Venus, they're searching for me while I'm covered in muck from the earth and the sea. It's interesting. She makes a statement about being the boys and the girls and everyone in between, and I'm not sure if this is meant to be inclusive or it's describing multiple personalities she may have portrayed. I don't know. I'm thinking it's probably more to be inclusive. She seems in vibe with that. Alright, that's all I got for that song. Be sure to check it out for yourself. The next one's called Light Shower. Alright, from this song, all I can gather is she's talking about somebody who she really felt refreshed her life. And she's very literal sometimes with her lyrics. And I don't want to describe this song so much because I guess it's meant to be flattering, but it's a little too literal for me. She says, plan out your last days. She's gonna plan out the last days on Earth, eating you. Ooh. The tips of your teeth fit perfectly in me. Oops. So, I'm not really here to talk about what people do in private, but it's not my album. And ignore that. Anyway, so that's pretty much what the song's about. I'm sorry I'm laughing. It's not funny. It's not funny. So we're just gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the next song called Spiderweb. This one's also kind of a bop. Interesting. So Spiderweb's talking about being caught in a spiderweb in a very loose way. It's pretty interesting. I really like how the effects on this play into it. There's a part where she says no one can leave once they've merged, and it is pretty cool. So shout out to Melanie Martinez for being pretty cool. That's all I gotta say about that song, really. I'm sorry. Alright, so the next song's called Leeches. In Leeches, it seems like she's referring to people as leeches. Only there during the good times to take from her. I'm just gonna do it for fun. Side! She butchered it. I have nothing else to say about this song. This song it draws on your blood and it sucks it out slowly. I just think she's talking about people who are being leeches to her, and that's not cool. Not cool school. So there you go for that song. The next song is also a bop. It's called The Battle of the Larynx. Battle of the Larynx. This one, I think, is probably one of the top 3 on her album. So, we're gonna check it out. It starts out with guitar and it's got some swirly flanger to it. Flanger. So it seems like this song's about an argument or a situation where an argument is turned into tension. It's pretty safe for the kids, I think. So there's that. I'm not really sure what Teeth, Round, and Doll has to do with this song, but it's in there. It looks like in this song too that it's not just a one-sided thing. She describes the other person's opposing views and how they have friends that'll support them no matter what. And I think that's kind of an interesting point to make. Also, I think it's interesting to note that in a lot of Melanie's songs, she can be pretty violent. I mean, there's a lyric in here where she'll wreck you if you chase her. Okay. But remember back in the day of like Dollhouse and K through 12, where she was like, Daddy said go for the throat, go for the throat. Like, oh my gosh, what you don't do. Sorry, I'm just enjoying listening to the song. I really have nothing else to say on it. Once you get past the first few verses, it's like you've seen pretty much what's there. Next song is called The Contortionist. Alright, this one's not safe for the kids. It's got that F word in there. I don't know. Oh my gosh. She really went there a little bit. Anyway, the song starts off with describing that she's contorted herself. She's bent herself backwards for whoever it is she's singing about. But she's also describing very personal moments with them. So she's done. Ah ha 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 ha. That laugh, the way that it's made and put into the song, I mean, it is goofy, that's for sure. Hands down, best part of the song is when she goes, achoo! That's all I got for that song. No. This next song is called Moon Cycle. It starts out with a werewolf howl, if you're thinking that. Ooh. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but this particular song actually is unnerving to me. I'm not entirely sure, but it seems like she may be referencing a time of the month that females endure every month. And it seems like it's turned more of a fetish than it is taboo, I guess is the best way to put it. I'm not sure this is for kids. It's not for me, I'll tell you that. It makes me a little uncomfortable with this song, but we're gonna just keep going with it, okay? So it seems like Melanie's just describing what she kind of does for her monthly routine. Skim ready for my heavy daily cream. Keep it handy, womb shedding. Oh my gosh. And that's okay and dandy. That's really what this song's about. It's about not only her and her moon cycle. It's about somebody else enjoying her moon cycle too. And yes, that's taboo to me, but I guess we're making progress. That's pretty much all I got for this one. It's a interesting song if you're into that. The next song is called Nymphology. I feel like this song is kind of a sleeper hit because at first it's like you think it's forgettable, but then it's not. It's not forgettable. It will play in your head for days. So this song seems to be about her wanting to be a manic pixie dream girl. And she really likes nymphology. It's not psychology. So that's pretty cool. She even spells it. I like how she says, "You're just stupid, little child. You're just stupid, little child." I also like how she says she's not your mother. I'm not really sure if she is trying to, like, suggest somebody else be into nymphology or whatever, but at some point it takes a turn in this song and she's not sorry for loving this person so honestly, but she literally says she'll blank your blank into your mouth. She'll push your blank into your mouth. And can you guess what the blank is? It rhymes with Venus, and it's a male genitalia part. It's like, this is the song that kids are listening to because it's reminiscent of nymphology, and who likes nymphs more than the kids do? Don't answer that, because it's probably an estranged person from your life and you're like, oh yeah, so and so likes nymphs a lot, but like to the point where they're spelling out nymphology in a song. I don't know. She just really likes nymphs, and at this point in the song, she'll push your blank into your mouth, and it she'll make you choke on your doubt. Okay, I don't understand. That's all I got for the song, really. I don't entirely understand where she's coming from, but it's nymphology and it's not psychology, so maybe I'm just studying the wrong subject here. The next song we're going to cover is called Evil. This is probably my second favorite off the album. It starts out with a really nice guitar riff, and it kind of loops through the song. I like that she hits some low notes right at the beginning about kiss and miss. It's like unusual in a Melanie Martinez song. I'm sorry, the song is so catchy. I don't even know what to say. Or you could just play this over and over again. My favorite part is when she says, if you bite her hand again, she'll never feed you. Oh my gosh. I love it. I just love it. Actually, no, she says, hope you slip on soap, and I think maybe that's the best. Alright, the last song is called Womb. I'm not doing the deluxe version. We'll just see how this goes. This one's a little deep. No pun intended. Deep. Oh my gosh. So, she begins this song by describing how she's in the womb, or... yeah. I guess it's pretty much how it's her space until she arrives, you know? And she's talking about how there's, like, cosmic conversations happening for her little brother who will come next. So, seems like she's really descriptive about how she's in the womb, but she wants to get out. It is descriptive. I've never experienced a song where it tried to make having to go through childbirth melodious. And yet somehow she's made going through childbirth a pop song. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it's taboo because it's not quite like Moon Cycle. Okay, that one, I mean, is pretty illicit. This one is just, it's borderline cringe, you know? She made it work. I'm not saying she didn't make it work, but if you put it on paper, it's like, whoa, you know? You ever do that with a song and you're just like, yeah, this song's really killer, and then you look at the lyrics and you read through them with the song, and it's just like, oh my gosh, that's, suddenly you're like speaking a new language or something. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have to say on this song, Womb. It's pretty much a bop. Albeit a slower pop song, I guess. But maybe not slow. Maybe it's just very bare compared to some other ones. I don't know. Anyway, so that's my review of Portals by Melanie Martinez. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it somewhat insightful and relatable, because these are things I found nobody was saying, and they're just basic things I noticed. If you like it, cool, comment, like, subscribe, do whatever you do. If you don't, that's okay. Thanks for giving me a listen. Appreciate your time. Alright, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.